Hi, my name is Madeleine Schroeder, and my project is titled How Reconnecting with Nature Begins in the Backyard. And I interned with Homegrown Organics. So getting into some of the background and context, the central issue that my project is in response to is the fact that in our modern day society, basically the trend of increasing urbanization means that more and more people are living in dense cities and really don't engage with the environment or interact with nature on a daily basis. And this really leads to a disconnection between people and their environment, like a distinction between human systems and ecological systems. And so this is a problem because it means we miss out on the physical and psychological benefits of interacting with nature. And it also means that when people are disconnected from the environment, they are more likely to make choices or take actions that harm nature. And then whereas when people really have a personal connection with nature and care about their environment, they're more likely to take action towards a more sustainable future. So my project is specifically looking at how ecological design projects such as permaculture and these, at a small scale on people's properties at their homes can sort of be a potential solution to this issue. And I use the term permaculture here as sort of an umbrella term of just talking about ecological design projects that really focus on mirroring the processes that are happening in nature naturally. Not all of the projects that I talk about are specifically permaculture, but I'm sort of using it as an umbrella term, just talking about those ecological design projects that are based on the design principles and set of ethics of permaculture. And so for my internship, I was at Homegrown Organics, which is a permaculture garden landscaping company. And my daily responsibilities basically included like working on a bunch of different projects that they were doing at the time. And that includes working on building vegetable gardens or installing like landscaping features, such as in this photo over here. And really just all sorts of different things. It was great to have tons of different experiences while I was interning there. And so for my research project, I conducted interviews with 11 of their clients just to learn more about, their perspectives and experiences with the garden projects or permaculture projects that they were working on, and then what, the benefits were, what they needed from HGO, what the values motivating them were, sort of stuff like that. And so after conducting these interviews, I analyzed the responses, sort of paying attention to, the common overarching themes, as well as the differences between them. And so looking at my results, what I found is that the motivations that people discussed really fell into three main categories, with an additional fourth. So personal motivations could be anything from wanting to be able to grow food to having a really beautiful outdoor space with lots of fragrant flowers, to just having like a peaceful outdoor place to sit and be peaceful. And then communal motivations were really characterized by feeling sort of a sense of social responsibility and community. So some people talked about really valuing having a place together with their friends or their neighbors, or like finding a lot of like-minded people in the permaculture community, just really feeling proud of their property. And then environmental motivations tended to be overlapping with those other two, but really emphasized, wanting to take care of the land and give back to the environment, really wanting to like be stewards of the land that they were living on. And then sort of the last piece that a lot of people expressed is a desire to balance these motivations. So, like wanting their projects to work for them and for the environment, be beautiful, but also functional, but also sustainable. And there was a really wide variety of benefits that people talked about. It was great to hear all sorts of different things that were people's favorite parts of their gardens and everything. A lot of people talked about just really having more time to spend outside, enjoying the space more, and feeling a sense of responsibility for it. And then having more hands-on experience, just learning more about their ecosystem as a result of working on these projects, which I think is a really important part of fostering that connection to nature. And so you can see my mantle map sort of visualizes these responses from the interviews. And then this word cloud I created based on all the responses that I got in terms of what people's motivations were. So it sort of just highlights, the really wide variety of things that people talked about in terms of what they wanted to get out of their projects. Yeah, so looking at broader significance, I think my results sort of highlighted how individualized these paths need to be, like these paths toward reconnecting with the natural world. It's really not a one-size-fits-all approach. You know, everyone's going to find their own path and what works for them. And I think that's why permaculture is a really valuable path to go down, because it's so versatile and can be so many different things for so many different people and their land and different situations. And I think in terms of like next steps or new directions to take, I think it's really interesting to look at specifically how these projects can be implemented in urban environments, like at really small scales. Because I think in many ways having your own natural space, even if it's small, can really foster that connection with nature in a different way than just like visiting a large park, which is the most common way that people are able to connect with nature in big cities. So I think that would be a really interesting new direction to take this project. Yeah, so that's my presentation. I want to acknowledge everyone who helped me out on this journey, but yeah, so let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for listening.